So we'll get started. I just want to give you a heads up. I'm just going to ask you guys to have a towel on the side, small little hand towel, nothing too crazy. I have my Northwell towel with me today. We're going to use that as sort of a glider, you know, those purple discs that we usually have in the studio, but that's okay. Perfect. I like it, Beth. I like it. All right, so you guys get the towel. And then I have 2-pound weights, but if you don't have weights, a water bottle, a small water bottle will do. And if you don't have them, it's all good. Life is good in the hood, right? I mean, these are 2 pounds. I just kind of use it, but like anything, whatever we do, we want to focus in on the muscle group that we're using at that moment. And then that kind of just engages it. So, you know, I could go like this, you know, a couple times, and we'll do a lot of reps. Or I could just kind of go like this. And there's a whole difference in the two. When I really focus in on that bicep and I engage and I work it, I don't even need a weight. I'm just working that muscle and I can tire it out, just keep on doing this. But if I do this, I could do this all day long and it's doing nothing. So same thing with the weight. And we kind of use our weights in our head. Well, we have to use more weights and we have to get, you know, stronger and better and bigger. And no, actually, you really just have to focus in on your body first. And then you add on the layers of the weight, you know, as you do get stronger and fitter. But that's not, you know, that's not the end all be all. It's really about engagement in the muscles. So let's get started. All right, let's start warming up. So just kind of open up the hip flexors. Let's just come into a nice high march. So high knees, hands onto the hips. And let's just go ahead and bring those knees into a nice high march. So it's opening up the hip flexors. We'll get into the glutes. We'll fire them up because we need them. So I always say this, right? You know, the glutes, they're just that big connector. They connect the torso to your legs. And your legs are doing a lot of the work, especially in this quad space. So we want to make sure that the glutes are fired up to do all the work. Sort of be that workhorse. Okay, let's go with 8. And 7, last 6, great job for 5, and 4, high knees, 3, last 2, and 1, excellent. Now, right knee up, and now my leg goes back, my left arm goes down, I slowly bring that knee back up, and I place it down. My left knee comes up, I bring the leg back and my right arm goes down. I slowly come back into center, bring that leg up and lower down. Right knee up, leg back, left arm down, come on up and down. Left, back, right arm down, come back into center and down. One more round, right, back, left arm down, come on up, and down, left, back, right, center, and down. Great job. All right, separate the legs. Let's open up a little bit wider now. So my toes are in and my heels are out. So I'm just going to step back so you can see a little bit of that. So I'm just kind of pigeon-toeing my toes. I'm going to bring my arms all the way up. I'm going to stretch all the way up to the sky, get into the shoulder space. I get a little snap, crackle, pop, and kind of open up the muscles and a little bit of that spine. Next, we're going to slowly come on down. We're going to start to scoop up and then come all the way up as you round all the way up, and the head is last. Let's do that 2 more times. Stretch the palms all the way up to the sky. Go ahead, hinge from the hips, like bend in the knees, and then go ahead and scoop on up, and the head is last. Opening up that spine. 1 more, palms all the way up to the sky. Go ahead, hinge from the hips, come on down. And then go ahead and scoop on up all the way up to the sky. Nice. Next, heel toe the feet just a little bit in, maybe about hip width distance apart. And now the left hand is going to grab the right wrist and you're going to give it a nice tug over to the right side. So we do a lot of obliques, so we want to open up and make sure that we're making nice and room. We got to make room for things. That's the whole key, right? We have to open up, we have to lengthen, especially, you know, we don't really kind of tend to get into the side a lot. So just open up here, Then slowly come to center. And then other side, right hand grabs the left wrist. Oh, it feels really good. So it's not a collapse. You're just trying to envision opening up the vertebrae in the spine by doing this. Open up, reach and breathe. Nice, and then slowly come to center. One more stretch, forearms, because we're going to get into them. So fingertips are down, stretch open those forearms, get them nice and fired up, ready to go. And then the left side, left fingertips down. Awesome. And release, nice work. All right, next, we're gonna start to slowly place the right foot forward and now come onto the ball of the back foot. Hips are on the, hands are on the hips. And now we're going to come into just kind of an easy lunge. So we're not gonna move the leg back and forth. We're just gonna go down and then up. Come on down and up. Come on down and up. So again, engaging the muscle. So if I was in, physical class, I'd be saying, all right, so what muscle are we working? And, some of you would get it, get that answer spot on. And I know that you can because you can feel it. Once you start fine tuning and you start to tune in, it's that left quad, right? So that's where you should feel it. That's where you kind of bend that knee down and you go, ah, it's stretching. Keep on going. 8 and 7. Great job for 6 and 5. Last 4 and 3 and 2. Leave it down for 1. Hold right here. Pulse, 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 and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Step into center. I'm just going to fix my angle of the camera a little bit so you can see that a little bit better. Then I'm going to switch sides. So now my hands are still on my hips. My left leg goes forward. I bend that left knee. My right leg goes back. I'm on the ball of the foot. And again, we're just going to slowly come on down, drop the hips, and then come on up. Going down and up. Come on down and up and down and up. Come down and up, down and up for 8 and 7 and 6. Getting into the glute as well. 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it down. Pulse, 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 and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Come to center. Awesome work. Just shake those legs out and then go ahead and grab either your weights or your water bottles, or don't even worry about it. Just make sure we're going to work our biceps now. So giving those quads and the glutes a little bit of a break, fire them up, that's for sure. So let's switch gears to the upper part of the body. All right. So if you have your hand weights or your water bottles, you're going to have the palms face your legs. All right, next, we're going to come in 90 degree and then lower down. 90 degree, lower down. 90 degree and down. Yep. Keep on going. So what are we doing here? So keep on going. So when I come on up, I'm squeezing onto this forearm, right? Keep on going. And I'm working the bicep as well. So it's a little bit different when usually the palm is up. We're just doing a little bit of a different movement. And it gets into the big muscle group, which is that bicep, and then the secondary muscles that support it. So what happens when we grow the big bicep and the tricep, and then we don't grow the muscles that support them? Oh boy, things kind of go wonky, so that's okay. And that's what I was kind of saying before class. That number, whatever age that number is, it's just a number. But if we start to really take care of our health and wellness on a whole other level, and we start to just kind of, remind ourselves that we have to work everything, not only those big muscle groups, but the small muscle groups that support it. We don't work just our physical body. we have to work our emotional and energetic bodies as well. Everything coming together. Great job. For 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Great job for 4 and 3. Last 2. 1. Hold it right here. Little pulses. Pulse. Pulse up. Pulse up. Pulse up. Pulse up. Pulse up and up. Little pulses. So that really gets into the secondary muscles. They're kind of feeling like, wait a second, we don't normally do this, but this kind of feels good. Keep on going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Come on down. All right, let's shake that out and give the biceps and those forearms just a little bit of a rest there, that lower part of the arm. Next, we're going to get into the big muscle group, into the chest. But whatever happens in the front, you always have to work the back as well. So we're going to come into those goal posts, right? And again, don't worry so much about the weight or whatever. If you don't have anything, it's just about engagement to the right muscle group. So you're working your chest now. So when you come in, you're going to squeeze. And when you come out, you're going to squeeze as well, because you're going to squeeze your lats. So that squeezes, that gets in. All right? So we come in and we squeeze, come out and squeeze. In and squeeze, out and squeeze. So it's funny how we always say we're going to work chest here, but you know what? We're really working the back as well. And that's what's important. You really want to make sure that you're well balanced, whatever you're doing. So we're working the chest, we're working the lats, we're working the traps, and a little bit of bicep as well. We have to hold on to that, make sure that they're engaged. But, you know, we fired them up already. We gave them a nice heads up. Everything working perfectly. Yep, keep on going. Put a smile on your face. Feel good. Feel energized. When we move, everything else seems to kind of, you know, work just a little bit better, right? The respiratory system gets a little bit better. The cardiovascular system gets better. All right, when we start to kind of, you know, dig into the data, and it's so early, but when we start to get into the data of this COVID-19 stuff, you know, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, those were the big triggers when people really were starting to get sick. So let's do our best to make sure we're taking care of all that. You guys should be sore at this point. I sure am. All right, we have 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Come on in and now pulse up. Pulse up and up and up and up. Up and up. Up and up. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh boy. Woo! Put those weights down. Let's get that junk out. So that was a nice buildup of lactic acid right there. And that's what happens. It's sort of that byproduct. But that's okay. We're going to stretch all that out. So what we did really in the beginning of class also, I gave you fair warning. Let's bring that right arm back. And the hand comes right into the middle of the back. Left hand grabs that elbow. And you're just going to give a nice little tug and open up. Let's get into the shoulder. The tricep, which we haven't worked yet, but you know. It's, again, what happens in the front happens in the back as well. All right, we give ourselves a half hug. Go ahead and stretch that out. And then the other side, left arm goes back. Oh, especially that deltoid. We don't work the deltoid too much. We're going to get into that today. Left side, half hug. Okay. Lateral work on the legs. So switching gears again, let's give the upper body a little bit of rest. So let's come into, you know, a little bit of lateral work with our towel. So go ahead and grab that. Go ahead and grab a sip of water as well. We want to make sure that we're really well hydrated. That's really, really super important. Fueled and hydrated. So at this point in the morning, I hope you guys had something nice to eat. We need to make sure that we're helping the building blocks of the muscle groups, right? Certainly not not hindering them. This is not about weight loss. It's about so much more. Okay, so Apollo Ono. So what does that look like? So Apollo Ono was that Olympic speed skater, right? And where does the speed come from? Well, let's just, let me demo something just kind of simple here. If we just kind of push that leg out and pull it in, and we just kind of stay static here, we're not really doing much other than cleaning your floor a little bit in that little spot. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you work your whole body with this. So I bring my hands right into like my heart space and my elbows are out wide. And then I'm going to push that leg out as I move my arms out. And then I come back in. So I'm working my left side, my right side, my torso, my arms. Everything's getting into this. It's almost like swimming when I help people with swimming. I could do this all day long with just my arms, but if I use my lats and my body and my torso and my hips and my legs, then I'm moving. So let's move today. Here we go. Come on, out and in, out and in. Push it out and in. Stick that butt out and in. So it looks like this. And in. Push out and in, out and in. Work those arms. Just, start to visualize yourself maybe on that ice rink and you're racing somebody. Just like what Apollo Ono would do. You wouldn't just be kind of moving my leg, like an ice cream truck. We're moving, we're grooving, right? That's what we were talking about in the beginning of the class. We have to keep active. And that's mind, body, and spirit, guys. Here we go. Push it out for 8 and 7. Push it out for 6 and 5. Keep on going. 4 and 3. Last 2. Pulse it out. Stay right here. Pulse, 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 and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Come on in. Awesome work. All right, next, just put the towel right in front of you and place your hands behind your head, elbows out wide. Getting into a little bit of the core before we get to the other side. Left elbow to right knee, and then come on down. Don't place the foot down. Keep it lifted. Elbow to knee, and down. Twist, and down. Twist, and down. Twist, and down. Keep on going. So you're really meeting in the middle. So you're not dragging your head down necessarily, and you're not lifting the knee up so high, but you're doing your best to meet right in that middle. 8 and 7. Last 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it right here. Pulse, 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 and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Release. So maybe some of you felt that in that left ankle, but that's all good. Strengthen those ankles. We need really nice, strong foundation. Okay, let's get to the Apollo Onos on the left side. So enough of my spiel, you get the idea. Come on, out and in. Push it out and in. Out and in. Push it out and in. Out. Use your whole body. So at this point, that right glute is like, oh my, you got me working today. Doesn't your body parts talk to you? Keep on going. Keep on going and push it out. Push it out. Go, go. 8 and 7. Last 6 and 5. Pump it up. 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Hold it out. Pulse, 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 pulse. Push it out. Pulse, pulse, and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Nice work. Hands behind the head, elbows out wide. Knee, elbow, and come on down. Ah, I'm a little wobbly. Knee, elbow, knee, elbow. So, as you see, this is a little bit more challenging for me on this side. You work on your weaknesses, they become your strengths. So that right ankle, it's like, oh boy, really, we're doing this? Yeah, we are, because we're going to strengthen you up. We're gonna pump you up. Keep on going, connect, and squeeze. For 4, and 3, last 2, and 1, hold it in, pulse, 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 and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. My left knee was preempted. Oh boy, okay, I hope you did better than me. We work on our weaknesses, they become our strengths. Go ahead, grab a sip of water. We have those triceps, you got the triceps to do. We have a little bit of shoulder work to do. We're gonna go to Bollywood pretty soon. Let's put the towel up to the side. We're gonna use that, but just in a little bit. All right, let's do the tricep. So one of my favorite moves, a lot of people use, the triceps this way, but if you don't have the range of motion like me, everybody's like, all right, you gotta get your elbows in and blah. Yeah, it's just awkward for me. So I tend to do the triceps this way. I'm gonna head for my hips. So my butt's out a little bit. I have a nice bend in my knees. And now the heads of the weights or that water bottle or just nothing come to that shoulder. Like raise the hip and then the palms come up. And that's the whole movement right there. That's when you get into the tricep. So come shoulder, hip, and up. Shoulder, hip, palms up. Shoulder, hip, palms up. Keep on going. So that little movement at the end is where you really get that tricep work. Everything else is just kind of, in motion. But that's why it really is so important to get that nice little up. Emphasize up. Yep, exactly. Good job. And just, even if you don't have weights, again, what we're doing is we're working that tricep and working the lats. Everything's kind of coming together now, really nicely. We have strong bodies, front, back, inside, outside, and all around, right? All right, here we go. We have 4, and 3, last 2, and 1. Hold it up. Now we're gonna squeeze in. So my hands are really up. I squeeze in and in and in. In and in and in and in. Keep on going. So what tends to happen? The shoulders kind of creep into those ears. Don't let that happen. Keep those shoulders out of the ears. Good job. And keep on going. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Slowly come on down. And now we're gonna bring the arms nice and straight. We got that Bollywood move, or turning the doorknob, so to speak. Go ahead and turn, and then come back in. Turn and in. Turn and in. Turn and in. There's the close-up. Here we go. Keep on going. Keep those arms up. And again, the shoulders, they're chill, right? They're working. They're like, all right, well, shoulders, that's pretty important. That kind of connects the arms with the torso. We need that, right? But we don't want to blow it out. That's where that rotator cuff flows out. That's why we're working the supporting muscles to help that shoulder. Here we go. 8 and 7. Last 6 and 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Now a little bit faster. Turn and turn. Turn and turn. Turn and turn and turn and turn. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. All right, bring the arms down, place the weights or the water bottles down. Let's just shake all that out. And now we're just going to stretch out those shoulders. So I'm just going to turn my back just for a second. I'm going to show you my left hand is grabbing my right wrist and I'm giving it a nice tug down. So I'm really trying to get that shoulder nice and down. Lower it down. Nice. And then the other side, the right hand grabs the left wrist. Just give it a nice little tug down. Awesome. Forearms again. So we worked all that. Fingertips down. Fingertips down. Awesome job. All right, grab your water. I'm going to angle my camera down. We're going to go to the mat for the next 15 minutes. So we have some floor work to do. And the first one is going to be fun. So make sure your towel is by you. And actually, I'm just going to fold this up just for a better view. So grab some water, make sure you're staying hydrated. Come on down to the floor, come onto that mat, and make sure your towel is by you. You actually want to place your towel right on the balls of the feet. And then I'm going to angle myself on my mat. So what I'm doing here, I want to make sure that I'm on the camera. Let me just angle this a little bit better. Okay, so I'm on my forearms, and now we do this sometimes different. This time you want to pike. So the towel is on my feet. I come into my plank first, right on my forearms, and then I'm going to pike up. I'm going to pike my seat up. And it's like I'm coming into dolphin, if you know that from yoga. And then I want to come on out back into my forearm plank. I'm going to come on up, pike up my hips. I look through my legs, and then I come back down into my plank. All right, go ahead. I'm going to check in. Nice. Get that seat up. Awesome. Nice, Larry. Nice, Rebecca. Nice, Beth. That looks great. Awesome. Keep on going. So don't rush this. We're going to be here just for a little bit. You probably have about 8 more. Nice. Let's do 5 more. Great job. Work that core. It's so important. Cool. I don't know, 2 more. And 1 more. Hold your forearm plank. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Come onto your knees. Come into that extended child's pose, which I'm going to demo just in a moment, but if some of you know exactly what that is, you're going to bring your knees super, super wide. You're going to lower your seat to heels. You're going to stretch out those arms. Oh, that should feel really, really good. So making space, right? So we made space in the hip openers, we fired up the glutes, and then we were able to kind of do that a little bit better. But when you try to do an exercise like that and you're not warm up, very, very tough. All right, let's move on. So actually, let's go right into donkey kicks. So on the theme of the firing up the glutes, this time I'm gonna come onto the hands. You can come onto the forearms. This is where I traditionally do this exercise. Today, I'm going to give you kind of your choice, but I'm going to come onto my hands for this one. Next, my right leg is going to come up, and my foot is nice and flexed. So a lot of you want to point the toe or just not even think about it. This is one of these exercises where you want to make sure that you're flexing that foot, and you want to stamp it on the ceiling. So go ahead and stamp on the ceiling, really, really reach. Don't rush this. And then bring the knee back down together to the knees. Slowly come on up, reach, reach, reach. Try to get onto that ceiling. Just think about it in your head. And then bring your knees back together. Let's do 2 more slow. Come on up, reach, reach, reach. And then slowly come on in. Again, if you rush this and don't really engage that muscle, it's not working. Fire it up. And then slowly come back and center. Let's move a little bit quicker. Come on up and in. Up and in. Fire it up and in. Up and in. Lift it up and in. So what's happening? Well, you're getting into a little bit of that hip flexor, you're getting into the hamstring, getting into the glute, even the lower back muscles, they're working as well. 8 and 7, last 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Hold it up, pulse, 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 pulse and pulse. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Come on down. Quick extended child's pose. Separate the knees first and lower down and stretch that out. Go ahead. Take a nice little rest here. You can come into alligator where you want to bring your chin to the mat first. Get a nice stretch. All right. We got to go cranking here. 11:35 already. Holy moly. Tom's going fast today, kids. All right, here we go. That knee goes up. So really engage those muscles first. Stamp that foot on the sky. And then bring your knees together. 2 more times slow. Come on up. Reach, reach, reach. And then come together. 1 more slow. Go ahead. Reach it all the way up. Don't rush it. And then come on in. Now to tempo. Come on up and in. Reach it up and in. So I do slow. I go slow at first so that you can really identify the muscle groups that you're working. And then you stay connected, right? And then we don't really need necessarily the other equipment. Sometimes I place a ball between the legs, you know, with this in the traditional studio. But you know what? Simplicity sometimes just beats everything because now you're more conscious of what you're doing. Here we go. For 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Hold it up. Pulse, 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 pulse and pulse. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Great job. All right, next we're going to come onto that left hip and we're going to bring straight legs out forward. So let's just get a little stretch here before we move on. Lift the arms all the way up to the sky and then go ahead and hinge from the hips and get a good stretch here. Just stretch forward. Oh. Maybe if you get the balls of the feet or the ankles, and that just gives you a nice little calf and thigh stretch. Nice. All right, next, without the hands, you're gonna start to slowly come on down. So engage that core. Without the hands, slowly come on down to that mat. Nice. And then go ahead and shake everything out. All right, next exercise, core here. So we did a little bicycle on sort of a mini bicycle standing up, but I kind of want to work more on the obliques in a different way. So we're going to come into that side plank. So there are options here. Some of you from my yoga class, you know exactly what to do. You're going to go right into that, you know, what we call Vashisthasana, which is this. So go ahead, if you know it, go right into it. Don't wait for me. Modifications here. I'm on my forearm, and then I'm on my bottom leg, and my foot is back. And then I'm just kind of, you know, I'm lifting my hip up and my left arm is up. So, and then maybe you could raise that top leg. And if you're in your side plank, maybe you could raise that top leg. So different variations, but I really want you to work the side of your core, those obliques. They're ignored. We ignore the obliques. All right, maybe raise the top leg, do something fancy. I don't know, Nice work. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Slowly come on down. Let's turn ourselves around. I'm just going to go to the other side, but you know, just so that you could face, so that I face you, I should say. And again, your modifications. I'm going to go right into that Vashisthasana, that side plank. You could come into your variation. All right, here we go. And then we're going to hold it, and then you can play with it. You know, maybe you try both legs are straight. Maybe you try it, and then, you know, come into your modification. That's all good. Nice work. Engage that core. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. We tend to do that. It's funny. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. All right, next, we're going to come back onto the knees, and we're going to do a little cat-cow stretch. So shoulders over wrists, knees and feet are hip width distance apart. A lot of stuff going on here. I want to squeeze it in. I'm watching the time. Here we go. Headless, tailbone lifts. Look up. Go ahead. Exhale, round. Oh. Inhale, headless, tailbone lifts. Deep breath. Go ahead. Exhale, round that spine. Drop that head. 2 more. Go ahead. Breathe. And release. And 1 more. Look up. And then go ahead. Round that spine like a Halloween cat. Do your best here. Breathe. Nice work. All right. And then release. All right. Right arm, left leg. Right arm, left leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Bring the elbow to the knee and straighten. Keep on going and straighten. So we already gave the brain a heads up. This is what we did standing. So it's not going to be all like messed up in your head like, oh boy, you know, I don't feel my balance or whatever. We already tackled that. So just go ahead and nail it. Here we go for 8 and 7, last 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Hold it in. Crunch, 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 and crunch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. We're going to go right to the other side, and then we have our final stretches. Left arm goes forward, right leg goes back. All right, elbow to knee, and straighten. Crunch in, and straighten. Crunch in, and reach. In, and lengthen. Keep on going. Great work. Work those abs, and the core, and your body all together. Great job for 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Hold it in. Crunch, 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 and crunch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome work. All right, next, come on to that left hip. Bring straight legs out forward. And we have our final stretches. Great work today. I know we squeezed a lot in, but I think we got all planes, right? That's what I try to do. Going forward and back, going side, doing a little cross. Here we go, arms up. Go ahead and lower down. I don't know. I wonder what the textbook would grade me. All right, here we go. Arms overhead. Just get a nice stretch here. Sometimes, you know, people think we're not doing anything here. This is totally a lot of work. We're stretching the whole body. So this time I want you to stretch the right side first. Right fingertips back, and then the right heel goes forward. So it's almost like you're opening up that whole vertebrae and getting into that SI joint, what you really want to take care of, because if that goes wonky, oh boy, then you got that sciatica thing going on and all that crazy stuff. Let's not have that happen. So we got to take care of it. Let's do that one more time. Just come back into neutral, shake everything out. And then the right hand goes back and the right heel goes forward. You're lengthening your whole body on that right side. And then slowly come back into center. Apparently they're building like a house next door. I don't know. I hope you don't hear that banging too much. Zoom fitness issues here. All right, left side, left fingertips back, left heel forward. Stretch it out, open up. And then go ahead, release. Let's do that one more time. Come back to center, just shake everything out. Left fingertips forward, left heel forward. Ah. And then go ahead and release. Nice work. All right, bring the knees into the chest. Go ahead, give yourself a nice little hug, and then we're just going to do a nice spinal twist to end your class. Knees over to the left side, right arm to the right. Look over that right hand. Ah, that gets a nice twist. So what do? We worked on all this. We got to give it a little bit of love. And then slowly bring your knees back into center, and we have the other side. Knees over to the right, look over the left. And then slowly bring the knees into your chest, legs all the way up to the sky, hands underneath the seat, and start to slowly lower both legs down to the mat. All right, one full sit-up gets you up and end your class. Arms overhead, take a big inhale, double exhale. Shh, shh. Great job, guys. Happy Sunday. Enjoy your day. Good job.